Now, whether we are looking to improve our body, our business, our relationships, like I always say, it doesn't matter which area of life we're trying to elevate. Of course, we need to show some discipline. We need discipline and we need action. Now, ultimately, our discipline is simply us just saying, okay, well, I am going to hold myself to the commitments I've made. So I've said I'm going to do this, this, and this in order to transform my body, or I'm going to do this, this, and this in order to build my business, or whatever it might be. Doesn't matter what the goal is. Of course, we have to display at least some level of discipline and consistency with our commitments in order to move the needle, in order to move ourselves towards the results that we want. And that's fine. Now, the one thing we have to obviously be careful of is making sure that the discipline and the commitments that we set for ourselves are focused around action, not just simply activity, because quite often we can get wrapped up in this idea of kind of just doing more and doing things and keeping ourselves very busy throughout the day. And we get to the end of the day and we're like, fuck me, I've had so much to do. I did all these different things and I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and 10 and so on. And we did all these different things, but none of them really moved the needle. So yeah, we were disciplined and yeah, we were committed, but we were only disciplined and committed to the things that kind of massaged our ego, the things that essentially made it look like we were really busy and getting shit done, but ultimately we were just avoiding the things that we knew we really needed to do. So first we've got to get clear on, well, what it is we're committing to, and then being real clear with ourselves about the fact that we need to remain disciplined to the actions that are required in order to get us to the result that we want. So if we want to lose weight, for example, we need to make sure we're committed to eating clean. We need to make sure that we're committed to moving our body in a certain way multiple times a week. We need to make sure we're committed to our rest and recovery. We may need to make sure that we're committed to our hydration or to some kind of detoxification or breath work and so on. Like there are a million different things we could be doing based on our own individual health goals. But those are the things that we need to be disciplined with ourselves about. And we need to make sure we take those actions consistently. Now, on the flip side of this, whilst we're exercising this discipline and we're engaging in this action, we need to exercise our ability to remain patient and compassionate with self. Now, it sounds a bit airy-fairy and it's like, well, no, I just want action. I want results. I need to get this shit done. I'm sick of being fat and overweight. I'm sick of being poor and struggling to pay my bills or whatever it is. So I need to just get shit done and get some results. And that's absolutely true. We do need that. But at the same time, we have to understand that depending how far we've slipped away from kind of norm or balance in our body, or how far away we are from our goals in our business and our money game and so on, or even our relationships, we have to understand that in the beginning, there may be an element of patience needed, both with ourselves whilst we get to grips with the things that we need to do, but also with the particular result. So for example, my goal might be to lose 20 pounds. Like I'm fat, I'm fucking tired and I'm overweight and I want to lose 20 pounds. Perfect. Not a problem. But let's say I've got to lose that 20 pounds and I've got diabetes. Now, that doesn't make it impossible to lose weight, but it's going to make it a bit harder because ideally, before we reveal the body that we want to see, we need to heal the body that we're currently in. So there may be an element of patience required whilst we give ourselves the time, the effort, and the energy needed to heal what's currently going on. Then once we've healed that metabolic disorder and brought our body back to its physiological norm, or closer to it, it's going to be much easier for us to then accelerate our health and our fitness and our body transformation and so on. Like the body's ability to burn fat is going to be at a far greater capacity if I've already healed it from the metabolic damage and processes that are going on, such as diabetes or high cholesterol or high blood pressure and so on. If I can get rid of those things first, using essentially the same protocols, the same actions that I might have been taking in order to get fit, lean, strong, and healthy anyway, but just giving myself the time to focus on that other goal before the body transformation or the aesthetic outcome, that will allow me to stay consistent and on track, because I won't keep looking in the mirror and be like, well, what the fuck? I'm not losing weight yet. This is ridiculous. I'm putting in all this effort. I'm eating right. I'm sleeping better. I'm going to the gym, but yet my body doesn't look any better. So we have to be patient. And we have to also exercise, as I say, some compassion with ourselves sometimes, because it's very easy to be hard on ourselves when results aren't going the way that we thought. Or if maybe we're struggling to stay disciplined, like we were talking about earlier, or we find that we keep partaking in activity instead of action and so on, and we're kind of engaging in ways of procrastination and fear avoidance, avoiding some of the tasks we know we should be doing and so on. We might be doing that, but during that process of kind of finding our feet and figuring out what it is we need to do and how we want to approach this, we need to be patient and compassionate and not keep beating ourselves up, because it doesn't matter if it's us talking shit about ourselves or other people talking shit about us. We don't like it. Like, it's not a nice thing. And if you keep talking shit about yourself and about the effort that you're putting in, you're going to be far less likely or far less inspired to continue taking that action if no matter what you do, you've only got bad things to say about yourself. So that's why we need this balance between discipline and action on one side and then patience and compassion on the other. So my question for you guys tonight, in fact, I have two questions for you. The first is, where in your life regarding your goals do you need to exercise more discipline and more action? And then where in your life do you also perhaps need to engage in or allow yourself to be more patient and compassionate with yourself whilst you're kind of figuring things out? Because what you'll likely find is at the moment, there are certain areas that need leveling up big time in order for you to start getting results. But there might be some areas where you're already kind of doing well, but you're maybe just a bit too hard on yourself about it when things aren't perfect. So where could you exercise both the discipline and the action and also the patience and the compassion so you can get used to having this balance of, right, I go, I push myself to do things, but at the same time, I don't let myself off the hook, but I allow myself to do these actions and I nurture myself into these actions without having to constantly be cracking the whip or talking shit about myself in order to get myself to move. So that's it for tonight, guys. Of course, you feel free to drop your answers in the comments below. I'd love to hear where you're at, what's going on for you. And of course, if you have any other questions that you want me to answer, feel free to drop them in the comments also, and I will get them answered for you in my next video. Thank you for watching, people. I look forward to chatting with you soon, and have a great rest of your evening.